What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
As if you didn't know that.
That's right.
That's who's on this show again here at DriveCentric, everybody. But right now we have a special solutionary that's brewing with us over here at DriveCentric headquarters. And it is the one, the only Jake Hales. What's going on?
Welcome to the
man, that's
party.
awesome. You guys are so awesome.
Well, you're awesome
you're
too,
awesome.
man. And you know, we've heard a little bit about what you do and how many rooftops that you get to help out, brother. And congratulations to you. You're one short of Larry Bird, as I call it, 33. You're at 32, which is Magic Johnson, right? So you're living up there with legendary, but 32 rooftops that you're helping the operations with right now, man.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal, dude. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. Yeah, dude.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell our audience a little bit more for all of these different dealerships. Where at? What do you do for them? And how did you find your way here at DriveCentric today or yesterday?
Yeah. So I'm with Gee Automotive. Gee Automotive is kind of an interesting story in the dealer world. If you think about it was a small dealership group that actually bought a shark. It was a minnow buy on the shark type situation where just a few stores went out and bought 16 stores from the Ron Tonkin organization.
Oh, wow.
And so
Wow.
we went from being a very small organization to a very mid-major organization basically overnight.
That sounds like it.
Wow.
And what an opportunity and what a great thing to do. And especially if you have good processes in place, you know that you can spread that over. And then if you amplify that, you 10 times that or 16 times that, 12 times that, whatever you want to call the math, you know that you're going to just be like, wow, we can do some big things. But more importantly, we can impact a lot of people. So impact is huge. You know, I know that for me, if I was owning the store and I was wanting to grow, all I'm thinking about is legacy here. You know, I'm thinking I don't want to water it down my legacy, but I want legacy out there. I want something that's special for people. And it sounds like that's what's going on with you guys right there. I mean, first of all, you guys use DriveCentric, so obviously you guys are doing some pretty cool stuff there. But you told me that you've been a long-time user of DriveCentric. You've been affiliated with them. So tell people more about your history. Where did you hear about DriveCentric first?
So I was with Shift Digital on the Toyota program, and I did that for 5 years. And I was doing a lot of operational consulting at that time. And I ran into DriveCentric. Actually was kind of a critic at first. I just wasn't buying in, wasn't understanding it.
Love that.
But one of our stores in the Toyota region went ahead and added the product. And we were part of that. We went in and witnessed the launch and witnessed what was going on. And it was one of the first times I had ever heard in my 20 years in automotive, ever heard a sales manager say, "This is the best thing, the best CRM we've ever had. Don't tell anybody else about it." So naturally, we went out to every other Toyota store and told them about
And
it.
said, hey, everybody, guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
I mean, you know,
over the course of my 5 years with Toyota, we ended up moving about 23 Toyota stores over to DriveCentric for no other reason than it sold more Toyotas.
Simple math tells me
That's the plan.
it's as easy as that. You know, Lou, you said something about like, if it's simple.
Yeah. Albert Einstein said, if the answer is simple, it's usually God talking.
That's powerful, folks. So it's a blessing that happened. It's a blessing that you see that and that you understand that simple math says let's make moves, not feelings, right? When we look at numbers don't lie to us. Our feelings sometimes can misconstrue what we're trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
So it's really important we do that. And that's kudos to them for recognizing that. Kudos for you for being able to spread that to others and taking that knowledge and really trying to give. You know, the more we give, the more we get in this planet. And I love that. And that's a big, big part of it. So Lou asked you a really cool question a second ago. And I like what you're talking about. I think we have questions coming in right now.
Nice.
We have a special guest that called in. They left me a message to be able to share with you and to ask a question. This is a longtime listener, a first-time caller with short-term memory.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so let's figure this out. So I'm going to play this real quick and then just answer it the best you can, my friend. Here we go. Hit this play button and.
Hey, Jake, I got a question for you. I can't get my people to shoot a darn video. They tell me they don't look good on camera. How do I deal with that?
Man.
That's a great question.
Caller calling in from where?
That's
Is
Cletus
that Cletus from
Lebanon,
Lebanon, Kentucky.
Lebanon, Kentucky.
Kentucky, that's right. That sounds very Kentucky.
Yeah. So I
All
think
right, Cletus.
Cletus is going to be calling in more often,
Yeah.
folks. So
I'm
stay
sure
tuned.
he is. I can tell already. It's a good question though.
It actually is a
It's-
great question.
Yeah, particularly people that have been in sales for a long time already, they feel like they got their thing down. They're not going to do this. So I take two approaches on this. One, the first thing I like to do when I'm talking to a store about DriveCentric and a video in particular is I start poo-pooing on email.
love
So
it.
I'm sorry, I'm spying on you a little bit. You have, what is that, 864 unread emails? Is that right? Or is that about right?
That's about right. That's why
Okay.
emails are unaffected for Fred. 100%.
Yeah, 864. Well, I have something like 10,000 unread emails in my inbox.
That's because I haven't cleared it today. Like I clear it daily. It drives me nuts. All I do is press red. I don't read them. I just press red.
Right. Well, what are the customers doing too? They're not looking at email.
That's right.
Okay. And so all these sales guys are going out and they're completing their tasks by writing an email. And you know what they're writing in their emails? Are you still in the market?
Wow. Exactly.
And the customer's like, well, first of all, it's none of your business. And second of all,
who are you?
I'm never going to talk to you again.
Right.
And that's if
And
I
already
read the
bought.
email in the first place.
That's 100% correct.
My thought process, why are you wasting your time at your job by sending emails?
Yep.
Why are you wasting time at your job sending emails? And instead, I want you to send value to customers. Send value to customers. And you know what? It's the car business, folks. It's not hard to send value to customers.
So true.
You know what you do? You send a car or a quote. That's what customers want.
Car or quote.
A car or a quote. It's not complicated. That's what customers want. So send something about the car, send something about an alternative vehicle, and get that to the customer and show them what you got.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, was it Cletus?
Cletus
Yeah,
asked.
so
Yeah.
Cletus,
Cletus,
it's
yeah,
a Cletus
Cle-
question. Yeah.
Cletus said, what do I do with people that are uncomfortable on camera?
That's a great question.
And it is a great question, but guess what? How can you build muscle without resistance?
No.
Woo!
So true.
My man. Let's
Right?
go, Jake.
Good stuff.
Right?
Tell it, bro.
Can you build intelligence without study?
Woo!
Come on.
Can you
Great
build
question.
patience without waiting?
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Loving it.
Discomfort. Yes, there is discomfort, but you do not get past discomfort without repetition.
Right.
Okay. So we have some fresh speakers here at DC20, some folks that have never spoken publicly before, and they've ground their way through it. They did a really nice job at the end of it. But guess what? The next time they come out, they're going to be a little bit more
better.
polished, right?
Yeah.
Right.
100%, Jake.
So speaking of polish, though, surely you're going to be polishing your speech the next time that there is a DC20. So we heard a little bit of spilling of the beans that you might be another speaker at one of these events coming up.
Love to.
What is it that has made you now such an advocate that you're going to grab the microphone with a group like this that's out here to try to learn? What has really seared itself to your heart to make you such an advocate?
But before you answer that, I do got to say, you've done this before, though.
Yeah.
You've spoke. The way you're speaking here on this microphone, you're dropping some really big gems for my viewers and for a lot of people. So there's no doubt in my mind you spoke, but I do like, because I feel like this isn't like his first rodeo.
Yeah.
Right. But I do think that it's his first DC20 that he's going to speak at. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's really great. So tell us a little bit about that. What made you say, I want to do this?
Well, I think it's a small family, and I've been in the dealership role now for greater than 20 years now.
Yeah.
I sold my first car in December of 1999, and then been around the business. And what you found is if you've gone around the business, you run into the same folks over and over again, because it gets to be a small family.
As big as it is, it's small.
Pretty small world.
And don't you want to help out the family?
Love it. Love that.
Right? I mean,
True.
if I can help these folks perform a little bit better, it helps the whole industry out, right? Because ultimately we want to give the customers a great experience, because I might have a customer move cities, or buy from a competitor, but if we're helping each other, it's going to come back around.
It does.
Every time.
That's it, because it's called buyer confidence. When they don't have confidence, they're going to go other places. But because they go another place, especially in the last handful of years, that doesn't mean they didn't like your process. That just means they had a vehicle. There was a lot of cases where you just didn't have it, so they had to go somewhere else, no matter how good your service was. And you shouldn't be mad about that. You should actually still be calling those customers, letting them know you're here for their service. You're here for anything else that they need. And hopefully when they do have another opportunity, because the market is different, you can come see me and I'll have plenty of inventory to help you with. I'd love to put you, and I guarantee if you did the right thing the first time, they didn't forget about that experience, and they're going to come back. People were forced. When you needed a new car, you need a new car sometimes. And your hands are, they're forced to go out and purchase something, even if it wasn't the process or place that you wanted to do it. They just had the product. Right. And that was kind of a weird conundrum in automotive for a couple of years, but it's shifting. It's kind of going differently, but who knows what the next 3 months are going to look like. But what I could tell you is currently in this market, man, it's all about the process and the people again. Right. And they really want that. And people will pay more if they feel like they're getting both of those at a level that's above and beyond. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. And I love that you're doing this and you're doing it at the level that you are, my friend. So 99 was his first year of delivering a vehicle. That's pretty impressive. I've been in it over for 20 years. So you and I have both seen, all three of us have seen a lot of things in this industry go up and down and change. Even the way we submit deals, the lenders that we had, the type of loan structures that we could put together.
We print a credit report.
Yeah. And now even compliance now. Compliance is so different now, and being compliant and making sure that your dealerships are not doing something that can cause them to shut down in a sense, right? Even if they didn't know, they're still going to get fined it. So we have to educate ourselves and constantly be going to these types of events, listening to people speak, and then obviously going out and getting education at period, right? So for you, got to ask, man, where do you like to find most of your inspiration in your I guess, knowledge that you use to be able to help do what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I've been an attender of conferences like Digital Dealer. I've gone to 17 digital dealers.
Oh, you're kidding.
That's
amazing.
And so even sometimes internally we'll talk about, well, is there still value to that for you after you've gone to so many? Because not always does the topic change every year, or sometimes there's some repetition, but you can learn so much by interacting with other dealers and finding out what they're doing, figuring out what the hot topics are for the day. But it's kind of weird to say this, and I don't mean to put anybody down by putting it this way, but you can learn about what not to do too. And
I don't think that's a put down. I think that's true. It's true. Yeah.
It's just, but if you go in with the attitude, I'm going to learn from as many people as I can.
That's right.
And if I can't get something that's going to help me from a positive, maybe I'll look at that in a different way and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But here's why I'm not going to do that. And here's why I might be able to provide a better experience if I do something a little bit differently. So even in a bad conference situation or a bad educational experience, I can still learn from that and get better because of it.
That's
so right. I
solutionary talk.
And I believe in that peer-to-peer learning, one good or bad habits. I think I've done that with my friends, my family, watched my parents, and thankfully they were able to express to me, hey, don't do what I did. That's not a good thing for you to do, But like it is important to learn great stuff, but also what not to do, because you see people doing things and you're like, that's kind of icky to me. I don't like the way that feels, right? And that's just not my culture. That's not what we're gonna do. But those same people also give you a perspective of like some really great things. But man, I tell you, I take away probably more of what not to do in a lot of cases than what to do, right? Or like, hey, I'm definitely not gonna go that direction. I was thinking about it, but now I see that's not the direction I need to go. Right. So kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really ultimately about, bringing value. And I think we talk about that well with our customers, but internally too, and bring value to our peers, bring value to our employees. And we need to think more about that and what that experience looks like. And so just talking DriveCentric a little bit, and I got an opportunity to speak with some of the folks that are doing some of the marketing for DriveCentric. And it's like, DriveCentric provides a really good employee experience.
Right.
And do we talk about that enough? It's easier to use than a lot of other CRMs. It's easier to do than stacking another software to do your videos separately from, which adds more work. And so one of the reasons we're here is because we can bring so much value to our sales people and to our sales managers by learning from something like this. And they're going to perform better because they have the best tools that we're garnering from other dealers in the industry.
And that just adds to the layers of support that DriveCentric is very intentional about bringing together.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just, hey, we have a cool tool, let's use it. Now our leadership knows how to use it, and we use it this much.
Right.
But you guys have the support that help you maximize what to do, help you teach what to do, and help you. I mean, when we consider the amount of our brain that we use, right? Where it's so little compared to what it is that we have access to. And the same thing with some of the technologies that we have, right? We limit the amount that we use, what has the potential to do some incredibly big things, whether you're a small independent store or you got 32 rooftops. Seeming to put this stuff together isn't easy. None of it's easy to fuse all this together and make it be a seamless experience.
That's
you know
so
what
true.
I mean?
Right.
It
So
just didn't
true.
just happen. You heard earlier Jonathan down here, and you heard his mind flowing and going on all the integrations that have to happen and all of the technical things that get done. But how does it feel to be able to be here and see the faces, meet the people, shake the hands, high fives, give the hugs? How does it feel to be able to do that and also feel that nobody here is faking it? Because it's hard to come in here and not smile like a little kid because of just how fun it is, right? I feel like we all got dropped off to Gymboree or to a daycare for the day and are playing with our friends on
I love it.
these fun things.
I love it.
True.
I mean, but doesn't it feel like that?
After a while, it's kind of what you live for, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live for those experiences to interact like this, and it's a reward, and we get well rewarded in this industry.
Yes.
If
Amen.
we're-
Amen. to
If
that.
we're a performer, we're going to get well rewarded for what we do, and that's one of the things that keeps you in this industry, right? Because if you put it in, you get it
So
back
true.
out, and,
So true.
and it's just the truth of this industry. But events like this, where you see where other people's challenges are, and you're going, hey, I was there 2 years ago, man. I know exactly what you're going through. Here's how we got through it. Or, you start hearing great ideas, and I'll ask guys out here, I said, what's your biggest takeaway so far? And then they'll say something like, oh, I'm on at the scene. You're exactly right.
Right.
That is exactly what I'm taking out of this too.
No,
And
that's
so
awesome
it
stuff.
keeps your mind open to new ideas, and so you're always changing and getting better for your employee and your customer.
But that's adaptation, right? Solutionaries are supposed to adapt, everybody.
Every
But
time.
What's awesome is that you have so many people here that have seen things you haven't seen, that have overcome challenges you haven't had to overcome yet, and can help you overcome the challenges that you're running into. This is why masterminding is so big, but this is why you all can't live in a isolated environment in this business. There's so many people that do want to share how to get better. We do come from a industry which we would be very much building our fences around us and don't tell anybody what it is that I got, right? Hey, you've got this great tool, don't tell anybody else about it. Hold on a second, right? We want to try to make something better for everybody. And that's one thing that we do love seeing with the DriveCentric, not just the culture that they have, but the technology and the culture, what they're able to do with a concept of how to build an environment that serves the dealer well and serves our employees well.
That's right.
That is where automotive needs to continue moving as we are making this keep growing effort in everything that we do, but also growing inside of a relationship. So do you feel the intentionality inside of their events when they put them on like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You could tell that they're thinking about, okay, what is going to provide the most value to the attendants, and they're looking to grow people as part of that. So hearing speakers here that have never really spoken before, but getting those folks, hey, you have great ideas, and just step out and share them. And it's so interesting, thinking about what you just spoke about. I've always looked at the salesperson, and the salespeople and sales managers that grow the fastest are the ones that have a big dialogue, right? And what I mean by big dialogue, they're not just talking to people within the organization, within the store, but they're talking to people within the industry. They're talking to their competitors, right?
Yes.
They're the guys that talk to the guy that's doing the dealer trade, right? And I'm sending you a car, man. But let's also talk about how business is. What's going on? What's challenging you today?
Yes.
Those are the guys that grow really fast.
Yep.
And those are the type of people that we want in our organizations.
I love that.
Yeah.
It is collaborating with people that have different perspectives than you, but also to, when you're sitting down and you're thinking like, what's going on in our market, you go talk to somebody else in your market and see what they're doing. Maybe they're struggling the same way you are. Maybe you can give them a tip that can help them. They're competitors. I get it, man. And I hate when people say, oh, I can't tell the enemy this. I'm like, you know what?
Competition.
Here's
They're
the
not
deal.
enemies.
Two things. One, you can take a horse of water. It doesn't mean they're going to drink it. But two, the more you give, I'm telling you, folks, the industry needs to get better, not just your dealership. All dealerships need to get better. We want our customers to come in and not put up such a fight, come in and actually give up information that's valuable for us to be able to help them, not not abuse them, but to help them and not have their guard up to here, like they're in a boxing match. Like, what am I doing next? We have to all get better. So giving tips to your neighbor, to somebody else up the street, whether they use it or not, that's a great thing that you can do. That's the best thing that you can do. Collaborating with them, understanding what's happening with them, because they're going to do the same thing for you if you do that for them. And when you get something, apply it. You know, the worst thing in the world is a great idea that's never applied. Then it's just a dream, and it just sits there and it never does anything. It goes to someone else, they do it, and then you're like, man, I came up with that, but
That's
you
my
did nothing
idea.
about it, right? So when you have those ideas, apply. Application is the key to everything. So apply.
Speaking of apply, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, you're good. Go.
Speaking of apply, we appreciate Cletus calling in and applying a little bit of persistence in your questioning. We do appreciate each and every one of you that are joining us. And we want to make sure that you keep sharing this around. So keep tagging car guys, keep tagging car gals.
That's right.
And keep sharing this all around. It's not too often that we get the chance to speak to so many solutionaries that are boots on the ground
That's right.
at dealerships like we do at an event like this, who do have one thing in common. They are unified under a customer relationship management system and the concepts that are attached to all of those things. And you got to love it. Plus, they're also drinkers of Car Guy coffee.
100%.
Right? They love some good Car Guy.
They do. They like our brew. We got a
any of that.
special brew for
You
them.
got to get some of
But
that.
I want to remind you guys, you know, as we close this this interview down, I want to say one thing is that everything that we've been talking about all day, since yesterday, since before we even got here about DriveCentric, it's a CRM, it's a customer relationship management tool. But in the center of it all is its relationship. And that's what it's all about. All of it. Whether you have this tool or not, build a lot of relationships. I love when you talked about your dialogue. You got to have a massive dialogue out there. Talk to as many people as you can. Learn as much as you can. The more hands that you shake and conversations that you make, the more people you get to help and the more you'll learn how to be better.
Come on.
Get out there and do it, my friends.
Let's do it.
Let's go after it.
Any last words, Jake?
Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate
dude.
your time. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you,
I
man.
love the people that you talk to.
Thank you so much.
It's fantastic. Love seeing you at the conferences regularly. So
Appreciate it.
thank you guys for what you do and
Thanks, man.
and bringing some of these great personalities out to the rest of us that are trying to learn. So,
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate that.
Well,
Anything you'd like to say to DriveCentric?
to DriveCentric, thank you for having us out again. I think it's a great value. I continue to send our folks out here to learn from
That's
other
right.
dealers. It's
Beautiful thing.
It's a fantastic value. It's a great product that I think just makes our employee experience and our customer experience better. And so thank you for staying focused on that.
That's right,
Thank you,
DriveCentric. Way to
DriveCentric.
do it, buddy.
You guys are awesome. Well, car guys and car gals, I'm Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast in St. Louis at the headquarters of DriveCentric for hashtag DC20 with the one, the only Jake Hales. We will see you later.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah.